Video is going to cover downloading and installing the modified screen set that I did for Mach 3. I'm going to open up Mach 3 right here and show you what everybody probably starts with. You've got the regular stuff over here, the fixtures, which I've never used because I don't have THC, and I believe that's what it's used for if you set up certain parameters. But I don't really know. I've never learned it because I've never had a use for it. So I'm going to close this out. And I've got the Mach3 forum up here, and this is the Mach 3 screen mods, and this is where I put the 3 files you would need. So I'm going to download those. I'll come down here and I'm going to do save as, and I'm going to create a folder on my desktop. I'm going to just leave it new folder. I'm trying to hold the phone with one hand and drive the mouse with the other, so I click save. I'll click on this second file here. I'll do another save as, and it should go to the same folder we were just in. Click save. Then I'll get the final file that you will need. Do the save as and save it. Now that all that's done, you can go to wherever you saved them. It's right here. We'll open them up. And the first thing I'll do is I'll rename them. And I'll take that .dxf off of the end. It's going to ask you if you want to change that extension. You click yes. You do each file like this. And just acknowledge each time that you're changing it, because we know that the DXF was put on there to be able to upload to the Mach3 forum. Okay. Now that we have these files, I'll leave those up right here. Now you will go to your Mach 3 parent folder. Mine actually happens to be on the data drive. And I'll go to my Mach 3 right here. You can see the address up there. And this modded plasma set right here, just right click on it, do a copy, come over here, right click and do a paste. Yours won't ask you to copy it or duplicate it because I already had that file in there. Then the next two, you will go to your macros folder right here, and you will open that up, and you will go to your Crossfire version 1.1, and you will take this M3 file, you will copy, and you will paste, and you will replace the file. Same thing with the M5, you will copy, and you will paste, and you will replace that file. That is where some of the code is for the modifications to work. Now you will see when we open up Mach 3 again, it's going to look exactly like it did. There's a couple things you'll want to do. You want to go in to General Config. I don't know if it's going to matter or not, but I have my G4 dwell time in milliseconds, but that's because I use the sheet cam for my post. But the next thing you will do is you open up view and you will hit load screens. And then once again you will point to your Mach 3 folder and you will see modded plasma set right there. You can double click on it and it's going to open it up. Now you'll see there's some stuff different down here. We have an electrode shield counter with an alarm. It actually has 2 alarms, and this LED right here, this big one, will start flashing when we get to the 1 set number, and the whole outer box will start flashing when we get to the max that we have set. And this here timer is going to show how much time your electrode or torch is actually firing. And for people with the dual machines that are worried about their duty cycle, they can compare, they can run this without their firing their torch. They can run it with their plasma cutter off, and they can compare this time to the elapsed time right here, and it'll give them a good idea of what percentage they're using. I haven't run across that problem yet. I'm just cutting 018 gauge. And also I moved the jog mode button right here because I got tired of hitting tab and then having to hit tab again and change it. So now you can change it from continuous to step right here. And you can see it's in continuous. And it moves as we would expect it to. And then when we hit the jog mode and put it in the other one, you can see it just makes a very slow, easy steps. I'm just lazy, so I thought that would make that easier. Now what we'll do, I'll show you a little bit about how it works. Let me find my files. Under Crossfire Projects, working on, I'll do my line test. My line test right here will go to 0. And when I start this, you will see every time it goes up and does a pierce, it adds 1 to the counter, and when it's done with that cut, it adds to the time. Now we'll let this finish, it won't take very long. Okay, now it's finished, and you can see that the torch actually fired for 22 seconds, and it was a 30-second duration for the whole cut. And there were 6 pierces in it. Now on this other tab up top here, you have a miscellaneous tab now, and that is where you can go in and you can set, like if you want to set your electrode to whatever number works for you. I'm going to set this one to 10 and the max to 12. Now we're going to go back here, and we can see that we're still on 6 and 22. So I'm going to run it again. And you will notice when this gets to the number we set, it started flashing for a warning. And I'm going to change this. I think I'm going to go to yellow and green flashing right there. And see, now we hit the other one, so the outside box started flashing. So then, if you wanted to, you can reset those right down here. And it sets them all back to 0, the time and the pierces. We're going to run it one more time, real quick. I'm even going to increase it, make it go faster. This video is already going to turn out longer than what I had hoped for. In fact, I'm going to run this twice to show you what else we have. Somebody asked about a simulation button so he could dry run his programs and not add to his actual count. So what we have, and we'll run it one more time to get the numbers a little different. What I've done is I put some buttons down here. When you turn the simulation on, it's going to record these numbers at that time back in another DRO hidden in the file or the program. And then when you turn it off, it's going to put those numbers back. And this is almost done. Okay, I'm going to return to 0. And I'm also going to put an alarm acknowledge down here. By the time you see this video, that should be on the right file. But now if we wanted to, we can turn this on, and now you'll see this box is doing it. And if you had a program that you wanted to try without actually cutting it, then you can reset this counter, and it'll reset both of those. Then you can run it, and this will give you an idea of how long that next program is going to run. And you see the counters, they're adding up, just like they have in the past. And when this one's done, I'll show you what happens when we turn it off. And Mr. Hatch, I do this. Mr. Hatch gets the credit for this because he's the one that said it would probably be a good idea to let people know how it works. And Mr. Hatch, I never messed with Mach3 until about 3 months ago when I ordered my Crossfire. All right, now I'm gonna turn this off, and you can watch those numbers. It went back to the 12 and the 36 that we had. So that's like I said, I'm going to put an alarm acknowledge button down there. That way if it starts flashing, you can acknowledge it. And every time it cycles and it does meet those conditions again, it's going to start again. But if somebody can get some use out of this program, then that's good. I did it for me because I want to know the electrode count and how long it fires. And that number will be different for everybody depending on what they're cutting and how many pierces and all that. So hopefully you can find what works for you and it can be a beneficial tool. There'll be more to come, and if you have any questions or comments or requests of different things we can do, then reply on that forum and maybe we'll see if we can make it happen. Other than that, y'all have a wonderful day.